Welcome to Leadership Speaks, an advanced Toastmaster for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. I am Nellie, your surgeon at arms of the meeting. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is a premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development on everything we do. Our timer has a virtual hand raised so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. Our Toastmaster of the day who will lead our meeting is Toastmaster Terrence. He is a business analyst with background spanning marketing operations and data analytics, currently serving in health tech sector. He works at the intersection of insights and impact, translating complex data into clear strategies that guide decision-making and business growth. With cross-industry experience, he brings both structure and adaptability to teams while championing clarity, accountability, and informed actions. Whether through leading analytics initiatives or mentoring in volunteer spaces, he believes leadership is not a title. It's a responsibility we carry into our every interaction. And his takeaway for today's session is this: ethical leadership is about convenience. It isn't about convenience. It's about conviction. It's the discipline to uphold values, even when they're inconvenient. Because in the end, leadership is not defined by how far you go, but how you go about getting there. So let's all welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Terrence.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nellie. Dear member, dear guest, welcome to yet another meeting of Leadership Speak, the premier club for self-directed leaders. Our dear guests, take a moment to sign the guest book that will be posted shortly in the chat. This morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending on where you're joining us from, we'll be looking at ethical leadership. Thank you, President Holmes Teng, for posting the guest book. This moment, we'll be looking at ethical leadership and what it means in the life of a Toastmaster, in the life of a leader, in the life of an individual. 3 key things will stand out, or 3 key things will come out in the course of the day. First, in the context of Leadership Speak, it's about upholding the values, the mission, and the objectives and standards of Toastmasters International. The second, demanding transparency, not having or not, no side shows, no side deals, no hidden motives, all our cards on the table. And the third is demonstrating integrity, respect, service, and excellence, the values that Toastmasters upholds in each and every engagement. And so as you prepare to be engaged in this meeting, I look forward to an awesome interaction and a deep dive into ethical leadership, so that at the end of this, you'll be able to become a better leader in terms of ethics, in every decision you make, in every interaction you get into, in every role you intend to take up. As a team at Leadership Speak, ethics is the glue that gels us together. We conform to our standards, going above and beyond what a normal Toastmasters club would have, incorporating those values and upholding them in everything that we do, thus strengthening the bonds that are in our club, and ensuring that we deliver high-class quality of leaders who are self-directed and ready to take on the world. In this sense, you will notice the systems. I would like you to look out for them and post them in the feedback form and in the guest book as you sign. Look out for those moments where you'll see integrity, where you'll see excellence, where you'll see ethics at work. Moments where the values of Toastmasters are upheld. Moments where transparency is being shown, where all the cards are laid on the table and you get to see what happens. And beyond that, you'll get to experience the level of service, excellence, integrity, respect that comes with being self-directed leaders. At this moment, I would like to invite the toast of the day. Zoom Master, please highlight the toast of the day, the speaker, Nellie Ayodo. Nellie Ayodo, how are you this fine afternoon in Nairobi?
I'm very fine, thanks.
Yes, it's a pleasure to see you here. And over to you. The virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Ethical leadership is about making decisions according to one's moral values. It is about integrity, responsibility, and honesty. It is leading a team with probity. This is what we do at Leadership Speak. Porter Stewart once said that ethical leadership is knowing what to do and doing the right thing. A few years ago, I was privileged to be a lady captain at a prestigious golf club. While I was there, we had a major competition, and each lady had to invite a guest. One of the guests was unable to come. And they rang the golf administrator and told them that their guest was not able to come. The golf administrator, by mistake, there were two people with the same names. The golf administrator erroneously deleted the name of the wrong person. Come the day, the lady came in and her slot was not there. So we had to find a quick fix. We had to get her a slot to play with her guest. At the end of the golf session, we went to presentation. I had to apologize to this lady in front of 150 members about the error. I thought it was my responsibility as captain to make the apology. Ethical leadership is about doing the right thing and checking the right box. It's an ongoing process for you and me. Ladies and gentlemen, please unmute your audios, raise your glasses, here is to ethical leadership.
To ethical
Ethical leadership.
Ethical leadership. Ethical leadership. Cheers.
Cheers.
Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nellie Ayodo. Thank you. Thank you for the toast. We quickly segue into the next part of the meeting. And before we do that, I would like to invite the next set of role takers. And the first is the timekeeper. The timekeeper is a Toastmaster from Kenya, Toastmaster Wahiga Gishinga. Toastmaster Wahiga, please unmute yourself and tell us what your role entails.
Good day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm your timer for today's meeting. I will time each speaker according to the agenda and signal using virtual background colors. I will use green, yellow, and red. After each segment, I will post the timing results in the chat. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wahiga. We exit from Kenya, where the first two speakers have been, and we go to the next speaker, the next role taker, who is the grammarian. Toastmaster Aminata, please unmute yourself and tell us what your role entails.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Terrence. I'm happy to serve today as your grammarian. My role stands on two strong legs. The first leg is about the way we use the English language. I will listen for those sentences, interesting expressions, and nice ways that speakers show their emotions or other nice terms. I will also note small mistakes in grammar or sentence structures, and I will share a few of them in my final reports later on. It's not to criticize you, but just to help improve. The second leg is the word of the day. You can see it on my background. I will now introduce the word probity to you. It's spelled P-R-O-B-I-T-Y. It's a noun and means honesty, integrity, and strong moral values. Here are two short examples. She is known for her probity at work. Probity is important for every true leader. A similar word is integrity, and the opposite is corruption. Probity is not just about doing right. It's about being right, deep within. And without probity, leadership is performance. I'll invite you all to use the word probity as you go with your speeches today. And I wish us all a very nice session with probity. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Aminata Keita. Indeed, probity is important in this day and age. With that, Toastmasters and guests, especially our distinguished guests, please take a moment to fill in the guest book that will be posted again in the chat. We segue swiftly into the first segment, which is the leadership speech or the leadership speaker. Our leadership speaker this morning, this afternoon, or whatever time you're joining us from, is Toastmaster Nzinga Jasse. Please spotlight Toastmaster Nzinga Jasse for me.
Yeah, video visual. Her video is not on, that's the reason.
Okay. Toastmaster Nzinga, please turn on your video. And as she does that, I would like to invite her evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Hannah Schmidt. Toastmaster Hannah, please come and tell us what Toastmaster Nzinga is going to speak about.
Certainly, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Nzinga is going to speak from dynamic leadership. Dynamic leadership. Level 5, Project 8. Prepare to speak professionally. And the purpose of this speech is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hannah.
Terrence, Nzinga is not in the room. She's got a problem with her connectivity, and she's not in the room now. So you can continue to the next speaker.
Thank you for that, Bram. We will segue to the first speaker. We will get back to this once she gets in. The first speaker is SM Ahsan Mico. Ahsan Mico, please spotlight Toastmaster Ahsan. Toastmaster Ahsan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Have you been spotlighted? Yes, please have the two of us on the same screen. Okay, what I mean is spotlight both of us. Thank you. Thank you for that. Toastmaster Ahsan Mico, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Nicole. Toastmaster Nicole? Nicole White?
Just give me.
Yes. Please tell us what Toastmaster Ahsan Mico is about to do on stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Terrence. Greetings, everyone. I'm pleased to evaluate Mico. He is delivering his icebreaker speech from the pathway Persuasive Influence. It's level 1 and it's project 1. The purpose of this project is for Mico to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. I'm looking forward to his delivery. The speech length is 4 to 6 minutes. Back to you, Toastmaster Terrence.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nicole White. Toastmaster Ahsan, how are you this moment?
Hello.
Let me hear your voice before you start. You good? Are you good?
Yeah. I'm
Thank you.
okay with this.
Thank you. Toastmaster Ahsan Mico, point of view. Toastmaster Ahsan Mico, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you. Dear friends, we don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. Mentioned by Anas Nin. So yesterday when I was driving my family to the resort that we just came back today, and I had the map open, but I also asked my wife, Toastmaster Kashfi, to have a look and also to see the point where we'll have to take a detour to reach the resort. So we think the Google map will guide us always because we haven't been there before. And right at the moment when we're supposed to take a turn, the map didn't update and we overshoot. With my family, with my mother-in-law in the car, and all of us. So suddenly, what I felt oh no, we are late. We are late just because I overshoot. I couldn't keep up with the map. What actually happened that the internet got slow on the outskirts of the city. Anyway, whenever something comes to us, like any topic, and we see, oh, there's a new thing, like there's a new president for United States. And at the same moment, our perception is, oh no, he's going to ruin everything. I'm taking my son there next month to start his journey in his art school in Boston. And whenever I mention anyone in my family or my friends, oh, I don't know if he's going to make it because, the new president is very hard on you people. You are from the Asian countries and all of that. But what you have to do that you should not get into those noise and get on with your mission. That is what you're supposed to do. What are you here to do? Like I'm here embarking on my new pathway with our dear club leadership speak so that I can complete one pathway this year with this club. That is persuasive influence. And today I'm sharing my introduction with you all. As I'm an architect, I'm involved in designing buildings, mostly within our city and sometimes outside the capital, all over Bangladesh. Once I designed something outside of our country, but it didn't get built in Malaysia. So I'm more focusing on what I have on my plate. And that is work ethically with my team and with my clients. So my dear friends, when we work, when we commit to our family members or our parents or our children, we should always remember the core values of Toastmasters: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Because it all depends on how we look at things, not how they are in themselves, as mentioned by Carl Jung. And I urge you to help me to complete this journey with you in this year so that I can complete another pathway with you. And that is what I am trying to do. Thank you, my friends. And I give the virtual podium back to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahsan Mico. The leadership speaker is still out of the room, unless she has already joined. I believe we'll segue to the second speaker. The second speaker is Toastmaster Leya Musunga. Toastmaster Leya Musunga, please spotlight Toastmaster Leya Musunga. And you can remove Ahsan from the spotlight so that we have Leya, Toastmaster Leya, and her evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Guerdah Felix. Guerdah Felix. Toastmaster Guerdah, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Leya is working on the path of motivational strategies, and the project is understanding vocal variety. And today, I will be listening to how Leya uses her voice. Is that it? No. Of course, I will be listening to pitch, voice quality, timing and rate, and vocal variety. This is a 5 to 7 minute speech. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Guerdah Felix. Toastmaster Leya, how are you?
I am all right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. The title of her speech is The Choice of an Open Heart. The Choice of an Open Heart, Toastmaster Leya Musunga. Toastmaster Leya Musunga, The Choice of an Open Heart. The virtual floor is yours.
There is an old quote I once read that said, "You can't receive with a closed hand." Hello, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. When I was growing up, I had to do my schooling in 3 different countries. I started off in my birth country, in Zambia, where I spent my first 4 years of schooling. Afterwards, my parents decided to relocate us to Botswana. Going there was a very interesting experience for me, as I was now exposed to a different language. Trying to make friends when you don't understand the language, that can be very tricky. But with time, I was able to make some friends. Just as I was getting used to Botswana and the language, off I went to Zimbabwe for my high school. I had to start making friends all over again. Who here finds it easy making friends? I've come to realize the older we get, the more difficult it becomes. When I was younger, and even now, when I look at my nieces, it's so easy to make friends. You play together, or maybe you have a toy that you're sharing, and bam, you're best of friends. But slowly, as I was getting older, it was becoming more difficult. High school, I was able to have a group of friends. And when I had to leave and go back to Botswana, I thought, oh no, I have to start this process again. Most people who meet me always feel that I am a very happy, jovial kind of person, very friendly type of person. Sometimes I personally think that I am an introvert, and making friends is lots of work for me. So when I had to start my varsity years in Botswana, I wasn't interested in making any new connections. Those first 2 years of my varsity life, I was lonely. I barely spoke to my classmates. Most of what I said to them was, "Is the teacher coming today? What time is our next lecture? Yes, you can borrow my pen." Spending time jotting in my journal about how lonely I was, I decided I needed to make a choice. I needed to open up my heart and start making connections once again. It was hard. Slowly, with time, I would speak to my classmates. When they would invite me for something that was happening, I would be the first one to say, yes, I am available. I'll be there. By the end of my 4-year program, I had my own circle of friends, and I had relearned the skills of connecting with people once again. I realized that period that the choices I had made had put me in that position that I am. And with the skills I had relearned, I continued connecting with people. So even when I started working, I made sure I always had a big smile on my face and I would talk to my fellow workmates. Even when I had to change jobs, always had a big smile on my face and always talked to my fellow workmates. I have been able to make such connections with them that even when people change jobs and we're no longer working together, we are still friends. Most people who know me know that I love to read. So when I even started my first book club, guess who the first members were? Yes, my workmates, both current and those who had left. That's the level of connections I had met with the people around me. But I must confess, not all of them have turned out positive, and that is bound to happen. Some of them have ended up in a very negative light, but I always keep a positive attitude and an open heart. Fellow Toastmasters, our guests. The interesting thing about life is that it is all about the choices that we make. You might find yourself in a situation that you're not happy with, whether it's in your work life or your home life or the relationships that you have made. I want to remind you that you always have a choice. You can decide how you want the situation to turn out. For me, at one point, I was alone and lonely with a closed heart. But I made the decision to open up my heart. What choice will you make? Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you for that speech, Toastmaster Leya. Indeed, we all have a choice. I like how you have lived through 3 cities or 3 countries. You must have an amazing experience from that. The language, the culture. Hands down, it's amazing to be in your shoes. It must be amazing to be in your shoes. Next, we have the 3rd speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Vinod Panicker. Hello, Vinod. How are you?
Hi, TMOD. Doing great.
It's good to see you.
Same here.
His speech, thank you. His speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Nicole, MD. Toastmaster Nicole, Over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon. Greetings to everyone. Toastmaster Vinod, he will be presenting a project today, and the purpose of that project is for him to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he uses nonverbal communication when delivering a speech. Vinod has also indicated some personal objectives to me, which includes what if someone doesn't follow the idea that he's about to express, and what if they follow it. I will be giving an evaluation of his presentation, and he will do his presentation within 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nicole. Vinod, are you ready? The 18th Camel, Toastmaster Vinod Panicker. The virtual stage is yours.
Once upon a time, far somewhere in the Middle East, there was an old man. He decided that he would like to travel the world. He took his belongings and called his 3 sons and said, "Sons, I am going to travel the world and I am going to divide the wealth among 3 of you. I have 17 camels. The first son gets half of it. The second son gets a third, and the third gets 9th. Enjoy your life." And the father moves. Now, all the 3 sons look at each other. 17 camels. 17 is not divisible by 2. 17 is not divisible by 3, nor 17 is divisible by 9. What to do now? All the 3 sons kept discussing. How can he do that? What should we do? Should we do this? Should we do that? Then they thought, we have an amazing old lady, a wise old woman. Everybody in the village used to go for help. The 3 sons go to this wise old lady and they narrate that story. This is what has happened. The wise old lady listens to all 3 of them and says, "Son, I don't have a solution to your problem, but I have an extra camel. You can take this camel and hope it would solve the problem." The 3 sons took the camel. Now, the first son, 18 divided by 2, he gets 9 camels. The second son, 18 divided by 3, gets 6 camels. The third son, 18 divided by 9, gets 2 camels. Now, 9 plus 6 plus 2 is 17. They had an extra camel. So they gave that camel back to the old lady, and the problem was solved. Many times in our life, we are in that type of situation where we cannot solve problem on our own and we need help. This story was told by one of our professors during a negotiation class in my MBA. And this is referred to William Ury. I believe he is the author of some book from which our professor had taken this story. But when I heard this story, I didn't get the message of negotiation. I was thinking, what if the 3 sons had not gone and asked for help? They could have fought, they could have killed one camel, or there could have been many other solutions, many other things that could have gone wrong. which is currently happening in our world. Think about it. So to me, the message was the power of asking. And one of my mentor had told me that if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So whenever you need help, you need to ask. In 2008, when the entire world was going through recession, I had lost my business, and for almost 6 months, I was sitting at home. I thought I was an entrepreneur, so I should not work and I will wait for my turn when the economy is good. But they say you suffer more in imagination than in reality. And that was happening with me because I was married at that time and I had to take care of a lot of things. For 6 months, I didn't ask for help. I just sat at home and thought that I would do this, I would do that next month, but nothing was happening. But one day, I decided I have to ask for help because I can't keep suffering like this. I took a phone and called my friend. His name was Lal. Lal, I want to work. And he knew that it would have taken a lot of pain for me to ask this. He immediately said, these are the 3 companies where there are openings. You give my reference and go there and give interview. I got the job and the story continued happily after. But again, it was only because I decided that that situation was not in my control and I needed help. And when I called for help, I got the help. Similar thing I can say for most of the Toastmasters in leadership speak. In our Toastmasters journey, there would be a time when you feel there is a ceiling and you are not able to grow beyond that. And that was a time when I saw a flyer saying open house. It was Leadership Speak's first charter meeting. I joined the club after the first meeting because I knew there was something special in this club. If I had thought that I was very happy with whatever I was doing in Toastmasters and had not taken that step to go ahead and join this amazing club and meet these wonderful people, I would have been still there running around community clubs in Toastmasters. So to me, leadership speak is that metaphorical old wise lady. Whenever I go to help, they give me that 18th camel. Vinod, you want to do this? Do this in this way. Come on Tuesdays, we will give you a round robin evaluation. Come on Thursdays, when you want to practice, we will do that. In your real life, think about a situation where you are stuck and you are reluctant to ask for help. Whatever that situation would be, today, decide to find that old wise lady. Maybe you will get your 18th camel today. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinod. Indeed, we suffer in imagination, and perhaps we all need to find that old wise lady who will help us think through our problems. Thank you for sharing that insightful speech. Dear guests, you have had a taste of what Leadership Speak is all about. Please take a moment to fill the guest book, share your comments, share your feedback, because we thrive in feedback. With that, I will segue to the fourth, according to this current situation, the fourth speaker, who is Toastmaster Holmes Teng, the club president. Hello, Holmes. How are you?
Hello, Terrence. I'm doing great.
Good to see you. To evaluate his speech, I would like to invite Toastmaster Marie Cousin. Please tell us about Holmes' speech.
It's my pleasure to introduce Holmes Teng, our president, our president of Leadership Speak. Today, he will be delivering a speech from the Visionary Communication Path, Level 4, Project 1, where the goal is for the member to practice the skills needed to effectively communicate change to a group or organization. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice speaking about change. Holmes has kindly asked me to focus on this point during his speech. Listen as a colleague impacted by change. How assured do you feel that Holmes is doing his best to consider your interests and needs? I'm really looking forward to hearing his message, and I invite you to listen with this point in mind as well. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Marie. Zen. Toastmaster Holmes, are you ready?
Yes, ready.
The title of Toastmaster Holmes' speech is I am with you. I'm with you, Toastmaster Holmes. Toastmaster Holmes, I'm with you. The virtual stage is yours.
Felix, you would have heard by now that our key customer filing system, where we keep all the important documents of our customers, is going through a system change. As part of this change, you will also be aware that there will be a period whereby the system will not be available. After the system available, there will also be some work that is needed from you so that we can get all the operations up to speed and back to normal. Here, I want to spend a bit of time to talk about 3 of your concerns that you have feedback to me as the project manager managing this change. Firstly, many of you have given me feedback that you are concerned that on an ongoing basis, your operations do require you to refer to the customer files. This is especially important for our high value clients. And from time to time, not just your operational needs, our senior management may also ask, can I see some of these contracts and files that the customer has signed so we can review what we want to do for this customer, how we can retain the relationship with this customer. I acknowledge that there will be inconvenience as caused in this time. Some of the workaround I can suggest are, firstly, the system will not be available for about 1 to 2 weeks, but you will be informed of the specific 1 to 2 weeks at least 2 weeks in advance. What I suggest is that before we reach the month of September, do planning within your team and across teams where you collaborate for documentations. Identify which are our clients that are most urgent and critical to serve. For those specific groups, if they are in small amounts, please download the files from the system. If it is one person that's using it, you can download it and keep it in your local drive for the time being. If you need to share it between groups, I suggest you can use our company shared drive, create a folder, and share it with the essential team. In this case, at least for the high-value clients that our senior management in your team needs to actively look for, those files will be available. But if the amount exceeds what you can reasonably download by yourself, reach out to me, my team. My team will find how we can support you. Secondly, I'm aware some of our operations require very timely filing. You onboard a customer, the contract needs to be filed so that the post-sales team is able to refer and identify if there are any unique needs in case right at the very start of the relationship, the client starts asking for things that appear to be out of scope or beyond the service that we usually provide. In those cases, what I suggest is that the teams that are doing the onboarding and the teams that are doing the post-sales similarly can have a temporary shared drive. This is a temporary one for approximately the 2 weeks to a month period where there will be some time where you are not able to file the new contracts, the new documents into the system. After this period, all these documents can be uploaded to the new system, and you will be able to resume your usual activities of referring to a central system to look at all these documents. I acknowledge a third feedback, which is that the second half of every single calendar year can be a busy period. Many of our sales are doing recruitment very actively. There are reviews that are ongoing. And I'm also aware that there are other system changes that we are also rolling out. Why this time is a concern. I'd like to assure our colleagues here that the team, not just for my project, but also for the other projects that are concurrently going some changes, we are doing whatever we can to minimize the impact on you in terms of the duration, in terms of the extent. Some of the activities that we're doing, is that we are trying to separate out some of the key activities. For example, the filing period, the catching up period, or the verification period that you will have to do so that your teams do not have to concurrently conduct many of these activities for different projects at the same time. But I also seek everyone's understanding that unfortunately, because of the timing of the contracts that we have for the maintenance of the system and the ongoing technological depth of the systems that has been around for about 10 years or more, it is a difficult but a necessary choice that we do a switch that will allow us to continue having the systems to serve us with the right amount of security, with the right amount of performance and flexibility to look at future improvements so that your experience on the new systems can be improved over the next 1 to 3 years. I know there may be further concerns. As a project manager, I'm here, and my colleagues in the project team will be here. We will be here to support you. I'm here, my team is here. Do reach out to us if at any point in time you need further support. Thank you so much, my colleagues. Back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Holmes. Indeed, when working on change management or systems change, those are some of the ways, or those are some of the approaches you can use, and feedback from the team is quite important. Thank you for sharing that with us. At this point, I would like to invite the timekeeper, the timer, to share the timing on the chat because I can't see Toastmaster Nzinga. Please, timekeeper, please share the timings on the chat. And I will also call upon the Zoom master to launch the polls for the best effort speaker. Please vote for the best effort speaker. As that continues, or that is happening, we segue into the second, or the second segment of this meeting, which is evaluations. Our general evaluator is distinguished Toastmaster Sandra Valks. When asked about the theme, Toastmaster Sandra said, ethical leadership is about doing the right thing when no one is watching. It's about integrity and servant leadership. It's an honor to have you here, Toastmaster Sandra.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yes, please proceed.
Good to be back in the saddle. Okay, as general evaluator, I'll be calling each of the evaluators, and then I'll be evaluating the evaluator rather than the speakers, because they will have received their evaluation. And at the end, I shall do a summary of what my thoughts were around the whole meeting. So let us get started. We have got Mrinal coming up to evaluate the toast, Nellie Ayodo's toast. Mrinal, what do you have to say today?
Thank you, DTM Sandra. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Nellie, for sharing your transformation journey as an ethical leader, where you behave like a why ethical leadership is important to you. And I love such a thought-provoking, real, authentic story from you. And today, why this is important for us. Be authentic, do the right things in the right way. You, throughout your toast, a lot of good messages are there for the audience. I love the space using with clear understanding each and every words. And that is will resonate with all of us as a ethical leaderships. So, few things you really doing a great job, starting from your storytelling capabilities, right message, authentic story, and the space you are using during your toast. To becoming a better versions, you may use some of the things to becoming an amazing toast. How we can operate toast. One thing, when you start the toast, you pause almost 12 seconds. If possible, try to avoid that. Entire audience attention on you only. So better try to reduce the toast gap, not more than 3 to 4 seconds. Second thing, throughout your toast, when you're presenting your toast, you are looking somewhere else. This looks like you are reading from somewhere else. That part that's why actually audience connection was missing. So try to connect with your screen. so we can directly connect with the audience, eye-to-eye contact, which is very much important. Otherwise, overall, your toast is amazing. You did a great job. Thank you so much for sharing with us your knowledge regarding why ethical leadership is important for us. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sandra.
Thank you, Mrinal. I always know that you're going to be paying very close attention and giving useful feedback, and in a kind fashion, which are all the important things. Now, just for your own evaluation wording, I noticed that the timing, the red came on and you were just nicely getting into the recommendations. So either the timer brought the red on too soon, or you started your recommendations a little bit too late. And I'm not sure which one happened first. I also forgot to introduce you that you had the same introduction as I had, that ethical leadership is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. But I've been watching, and I think if you listen to your replay, you're going to find that if you were to change your pace, you had a lot of very slow, thoughtful space that wasn't really needed, because I know you could put that sentence together and get the whole thing moving along beautifully. It would have given you the time you needed. So thank you again, Mrinal, for always being so conscientious. And let us move on here next to Paramjit evaluating Terrence as the Toastmaster of the day. Paramjit has been a Toastmaster for 5 years, area and division champion in international humorous speech competitions, and I know he excels in leading by doing with servant leadership. Welcome, Paramjit.
Thank you very much, General Sandra. Terrence.
Well, we need Paramjit on Zoom
I'll
here.
do it. That's okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much, DTM Sandra, our General Evaluator. Terrence, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you for something done very well. You did really very well, and you're well prepared and presented with enthusiasm, and you've built the foundation by declaring that ethical leadership is to uphold the values of Toastmasters. I think that is all concerned to us, and we must uphold the values. You really have, well, I think it's wired us again in our memories that this is what we have to do as a Toastmaster. Now, as for the Toastmaster of the day, it's not just coming and starting the meeting. So I will be evaluating on two parts. One is what is done before the meeting, and that's what we do in Leadership Speak, and that you did very well by starting a group around in 9th of July, almost 10 days before the meeting, and flyers and everything was also ready about last Wednesday, and almost all the roles were 100% filled. This is something very good, and you achieved it very well. Now, what is to be done during the meeting? You did very well. There was disruption. The first thing which I like was your calm composure. The way you came to know that Nzinga is not there, our LS education speaker. You just was so calm and composed and just followed and worked, even when the Zoom was not doing a job which was really required to master. Of course, there was a runner was not available. So even then, you're calm, composed. You have a very good patience. I think that's wonderful. I like that. And you have smooth transitions between the speakers. Now, what could you do better? See, there are a lot of things happening behind the scene, and particularly our Zoom master was not available till 5:30, and Nzinga was also not available. I think you did, because the Toastmaster day just doesn't do the Toastmaster. You have to see the whole picture, what is happening around you, and then act accordingly. So with your good voice, with your good speaking abilities and construction, I think you could make it wonderful Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Sandra.
Thank you. Paramjit, as usual, you have got probity when you come to do it. I just about forgot to be using that word there. You certainly bring probity. Well-constructed, methodical. I always know when you're going to evaluate or prepare for anything, it's going to be laid out, separated, methodical, and that makes it really positive. Again, it was just a bit of a challenge. Again, I'm not sure. The timer seems to be fast, but maybe it's me. It just seemed like the recommendations are starting at the yellow, but the yellow seemed to come up very quickly for me, so I haven't watched for that. So maybe the timer, if you can just confirm you're doing 2, 2.5, and 3 minutes for evaluations. Thank you so much. And our next evaluator is Hannah Schmidt, evaluating, oh no, I guess she's not, Nzinga, Jasse. Okay, next evaluator is Nicole White, evaluating Mico. And Nicole says that ethical leadership is action-oriented, being self-aware of my action and making sure all my decisions lead into what is ethical. Nicole, can you tell us what you would like to say to Mico? Over to you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, and greetings again, Toastmasters and their guests. Moving into the evaluation for Mico, point of view, POV, that's a new trend, right? Mico, what I appreciated most about your speech was your vulnerable requests for us, your fellow study group members here at Leadership Speak, to be a part of your new journey. And I'm sure we are all happy to be a part of that. Where I think you did well, by encouraging us, your audience, to focus on what we are here to do. And closer to the end of your speech, you encouraged us to keep going forward and don't allow distractions to stop us. Here are some suggestions on where you could improve to elevate yourself to the next level. The first one is your speech structure. So the purpose of the speech is for you to introduce yourself to the club, your personal story up to the club. And just to add, it's an icebreaker. And even with an icebreaker, there must be an audience takeaway. You shared a personal story about your trip to the resort with your family. That took up a chunk of your content. And it took away from learning more about you, the main purpose of this project. It was almost at the end of your speech, we discovered your profession, an architect, and the location you serve, as well as that you focused your work on providing ethical duties with your team and clients. And I believe you had several call to action throughout your speech, which you could have built more and made the speech more compelling and impactful. So if you could just focus on the one. As examples, you mentioned Toastmaster core values. That was just chopped somewhere close to the end of your speech. You mentioned being focused and tied that quote, we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. You mentioned it at the beginning and you mentioned it in the middle. Your thoughts, you want to work on getting them more structured because they were scattered and we did not have an audience takeaway. And your engagement with the audience and Zoom presence, that's an area you can elevate as well. You had some good opportunity for voice modulation. Example, when you and your family missed your location because of that GPS issues. You said, oh no, suddenly we were late. How about saying, oh no, we are late, and then change your voice, look sad. It was an impact in a negative way. This way we would see life in your message through your facial expressions. And of course, I would encourage you to stand so we could see your body language and hear your voice projection. And of course, this way you can have more of an enthusiasm as well coming out of your speech, right? And so in summary, keep weaving in those motivational message in your speech, We are looking forward to learning more about you, work on your speech structure and your central message to tie back to your speech title as well. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Another wonderful evaluation, covered off a lot of recommendations. Now, what I noticed for you as evaluator, I think I got everybody anxious here because that felt like the timing was better. You had a lot more time before the green came on, and that was good. But in that, with the previous two evaluators being caught short, you were rushing. So I would just invite you, no matter what happens, just breathe first and settle yourself down. I like the way that you had Mico with his new journey, encouraging us, and you encouraging, or him encouraging us while you were encouraging him. That was beautiful. The takeaways were very useful. Just breathe, relax, and enjoy. Thank you so much. Our next evaluator is Guerdah, Felix. She's evaluating Leya Musunga. And she says that ethical leadership is the glue. I like the glue. Without it, there is no trust, group morale will be low, and integrity will be lacking. I guess we wouldn't be in Probity. Guerdah, your evaluation, please, of Leya Musunga.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and especially Leya. The choice of an open heart. And you started with, you can't receive with a closed hand. Contrast. That's what I heard from the start. Your voice was clear. It was effective. Your word usage was also clear articulation. Projection, vibrant, dynamic. You had a lot of high energy in your voice. Contrast. For me, that was missing a bit in your pitch. Contrast in your emotions. And here are my observations and recommendations. When you said, when I had to leave and go back to Botswana, I thought, do I have to do this again? There needed to be some contrast. When I had to leave and go back to Botswana, I thought, do I have to do this again? You could have slowed your pitch at the moment to create some contrast in your emotions. Second, how lonely I was. Again, the pitch was high. It did not match the emotion of being lonely, of being sad. Contrast. Even when I had to change job, very happy. I felt that throughout your speech, your voice was beautiful. Your voice was energetic. The contrast is what was missing in your pitch. In summary, what I liked, what I find was effective, clear voice, enthusiastic, great articulation. Work on your contrast in terms of your vocal variety, because your pitch needs to be more varied. But what I like the best, it's at the end, you said, I made a decision to open my heart, which brought it to your title. And you ended with a question, slow pace. What choice? can you make? General Evaluator.
Wow. Thank you, Guerdah. I'm going to call you the bullet point queen. This evaluation was just like a mini speech, the way it should be, in my opinion, because everything we do is a mini structured speech. It was uplifting, had me chuckling, and that could become a speech for you in the future. That's how much fun it was, the variety, the contrast, the clear, the vibrant, making me smile, and giving so many really wonderful illustrations. So even in the illustration, you're raising your voice, you're lowering your voice, you're bringing the joy, you're bringing the sadness. Absolutely clear. That's going to be an evaluation to watch in the replay for Leya to move forward. Thank you. Next, we have Nicole Miller-Douglas evaluating Vinod Panicker. Nicole says that ethical leadership helps encourage open communication, prevents misconduct, no misconduct coming up, promotes transparency and a level playing field for all within any organization, including Toastmasters. Nicole, your thoughts on Vinod's speech, please.
Thank you, Vinod, for this opportunity to evaluate your speech. The 18th Camel. You excelled at storytelling. I really like this story, and I believe it will stick with me for a very long time. I might have to use it also in my personal space. I also think you excelled at the use of a metaphor, whereby leadership speak is compared to the wise old lady in the story. I like the fact that you intertwined it with your own personal story to say you didn't like asking for help and you sat down for 6 months without seeking help. But then you took action. You went to a friend and you asked. And this would bring me to where I think your speech could be elevated. Your action was to ask, but some persons might be an introvert or reserved just like you and still would not be motivated to ask. What can they do? What other actions can persons use to bring them to the point where they can break that glass ceiling that you spoke about? Persons can also research, do their own experiment, observe, conduct interviews in order to solve the problem that they're experiencing. Thank God for you. You are brave enough to move outside of not asking to asking. Also, I liked when you indicated that you saw a flyer. It wasn't because you asked someone, but because you put yourself out there to begin exploring that you discovered. So some persons might find the solution to their problem or situation just because they decided to step out and explore the world around them. In conclusion, your message to the audience was seek help until you arrive at the destination to help you break that invisible ceiling that prevents some persons from self-actualizing. Thank you again for sharing with us and giving such an inspirational speech and excelling at storytelling. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Absolutely beautifully done. While we're on the timing, I noticed that you started as soon as the green came up, which might be a great idea. When the green came up, you were into your in summary. So you had timed yourself so that you got your good points, your improvements, And when the green came up, that gave you time to do the summary and have a great closing. Beautifully done. Thank you. You came out with a great introduction as well for yourself, and you spoke from the heart. Once again, I was pulled in beyond just the evaluation. I was listening for the evaluation, but beyond that, you were matching Vinod with your own storytelling style. And we can do that in evaluation. We can be encouraging and uplifting. I like that you nailed the elevation, what he could do to improve, because Vinod's a tough one to evaluate. He's been on this speaker contest role, and being able to bring how you could elevate it even more was critically and well done. Thank you for that. Our fourth evaluator in evaluating Holmes, Teng, is Marie Cousin. Marie says the choices leaders make ripple far beyond their immediate sphere, shaping the kind of society we leave for future generations. Marie, could you please give us your take on Holmes' speech? Thank you.
Holmes, thank you for a courageous and timely message. Your theme of navigating change with alacrity was both relevant and deeply personal. From the very first sentence, I could tell you cared not just about what was changing, but about how we, our colleagues, would experience it. Let's explore this in 4 case areas: content, structure, delivery, and body language. Content, you articulated the transition clearly, mentioning the new strategic direction on the team's uncertainty. One powerful moment came when you said, I can't promise the road will be smooth, but I can promise you won't walk it alone. That humanized the message. To strengthen it, consider opening with a brief, vivid story. For example, describe a day you felt uncertain during a major change. That would help the audience connect and internalize the message. I know what this feels like. Structure. Your 3-part structure, knowledge, empathy, support, was solid. However, at times, transition felt abrupt. The system will be unavailable, and I suggest the following steps during this period. For instance, you move from discussing the company shift to offering support without a bridge. A sentence like, so how do we move forward together, will guide the listener more smoothly. Delivery. Your voice was calm, steady, and reassuring. Excellent pacing. Yet, during moments where you emphasized commitment, like I'm here to listen and support you, your tone stayed neutral. Adding vocal warmth here would deepen trust. Body language. You made strong eye contact, but I noticed you clasped your hands tightly when addressing emotional topics. That tension slightly determined your calm message. Try opening your stance on using possibly gesture, like placing a hand to your chest when you say, I care. In summary, Holmes, you offered sincerity and leadership. With minor refinements, more narrative connection, not just a structured and technical overview, but how you intend to handle it, smoother transition and embodied expression, you can elevate your message from reassuring to transformative. Improve recommendation, open with a relatable story to immediately connect. Use intentional pauses on bridge to smooth transition. Warm your tones on supportive lines, redirecting nervous energy into gesture that reflect emotion. Thank you, Holmes, for leaning with empathy. Your message wasn't just heard, it was felt. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Marie. Okay, your pace was excellent because I know over the time we've worked together, your words were hard for us to sometimes catch. So your pace is beautiful, and I was able to catch most of your words, most of them. I missed a little bit here and there. You're always conversational, and we know that you care. I would have you listen to the replay to listen to your repetitive rhythm and your repetitive tone, just so that you can vary that variety. And I know that you use the bullet points, but I believe you use 5 bullet points, and in a 3-minute evaluation, that's really stretching it. I would suggest you narrow it down, because your in summary started almost when the red came on. So I don't know how much overtime you are, but in summary at the red is not okay. You have to back that up and maybe cut down to 3 bullet points. But overall, you always care, and you always pay attention, and you always bring some wonderful recommendations. And the recommendations, lovingly given, are where we get to grow. Thank you so much. Okay, I do believe we are now ready for the timer to list the evaluation times in. Put that report in the chat, please. And while that's going up, I'm going to ask the grammarian to please come in and make your report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. As your grammarian today, I joined the session full of probity, committed to listen with fairness and care. Let's begin with some highlights. I liked Leya Nzinga when she used her vocal variety. That's very important, delivering a message, as when she called to action, we really felt called. And Vinod also used the storytelling, which is a beautiful technique for emotional call in leadership. Congratulations. On the grammar side, just a few light observations. Phrases like, that is tricky, might sound better as that can be challenging, because tricky is a bit familiar. One speaker said, I realized that period that. I suggest, I realized at that moment that. I think that formulation is clearer and more polished. Now let's talk about probity, our word of the day. While it took a time to appear, our general evaluator, Sandra Valks, stepped up beautifully and used the word not once, not twice, but 3 times. That is leading by example. Congratulations and thank you. My final recommendation would be try to make our speeches even more stylish and beautiful. For example, we could use the rule of 3 in the next speech. An example of that would be, let's keep speaking with clarity, confidence, and conviction. Or simply, let's always speak with passion, clarity, and probity. Thank you all for listening. I hope you made note of probity. Thank you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. I'm laughing because I'm probably the funny bunny in the whole group here, but I love humor being brought in. We need it. I don't care whether it's the boardroom or if we're here to impress the guest. We need our lightness and our humor. And Amanita, you brought that in spades. Thank you so much. I also liked when you were setting us up that you had the 2 strong legs. in that conversational and smiling style when you were bringing it out. I really appreciate that you brought you to the task and delivered it so greatly. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Could we please have the voting poll up for the best effort evaluator? Ah, there we go. It's now my opportunity to comment on the meeting as a whole, which is the rest of my general evaluator task. I'm going to start right at the very beginning of the meeting when we came in. Guerdah, you were a wonderful greeter. You're graceful, welcoming, and inviting. So thank you so much. And because you were relaxed, we were relaxed. Thank you. Sergeant at Arms Nellie, absolutely beautiful delivery, clear and beautifully paced. Welcome and great job done. Zoom Master, well, it turns out that we had some challenges with the connectivity issues because it was slow bouncing around. And I almost wondered different times if we needed that much as well. When a speaker is introduced, you would do the objectives first. You just need that person. And as that person is leaving, the speaker is coming in. It leaves the Zoom Master with not needing 10 fingers instead of 3. Toastmaster of the day, and you've been evaluated and the toast is evaluated. Timer, Wahiga. Somehow we got kind of caught up in there. I don't know. We'll get a report. Maybe you can put in a report in the chat about what was happening on those evaluations, whether you were evaluating 2 minutes and it was running out, what the challenge was. It'd be kind of nice to know what it was because the last 2 evaluators felt like they got full time. But thank you for it. It's a tough job. Everybody would think, oh, timing can't be anything, but I've done it. I know it's a tough job to be able to watch it all. So thank you so much. The working behind the scenes is where I'm going to go next because no other club does the working behind the scenes that I've seen that is so extensive. And it's always timely. So we are encouraged to start a couple of weeks before the meeting. However, that also requires a gentle hand, is what I'm going to suggest. We have to beware of micromanaging because we've got so many groups going in Leadership Speak now that you're not sure what's that group to look in, and then it's spewing through. Some wise guidance balanced out with encouragement. I was going to look it up. I think that's the golden glove. The gentle guidance balanced out so that people don't get anxious and nervous and say, oh, I don't know if I can get these things all the right way. We want you to be relaxed and competent, both. The Toastmaster of the day, in behind the scenes, the meeting itself was set up beautifully. When we come to this isn't about the Toastmaster of the day. To me, this is part of the meeting. Again, when we are ready to introduce, we want the evaluator to come up first, say their bit, then the speaker to be on. But I would really like, it's a pet peeve of mine, let's smarten up and get some really good introductions going. An introduction that supports the speech and is given just immediately before the speaker starts to speak. I don't know about this interruption, like and they come with the evaluator comes in, oh, how are you doing today? To me, that breaks it up, takes it away from the meeting. And then we get the speaker, oh, are you ready? Well, of course they're ready. Let's move into the speech. And let's move in with a really great introduction that is prepared and set out so that the introducer, in this case, the Toastmaster of the day, knows exactly how it's going to be delivered. Because it can be written with capital letters, it can be put with pauses. When I've done them, I've even put ha, ha, ha. Make sure you say this, so that when they're going through, if I want a little laugh, they'll actually say and carry on. It's very directive. And that helps on the outside world as well. So my big thing is really around these introductions that we can really do great work with. I've given them out when I've been out speaking, whether it was to Rotary, Kiwanis, or professionally, wherever. I go with that and I say, oh, and deliver this the way it's written. So they'll read through it. And when they're actually doing it, they'll say, ha, 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 it says it here. Well, by that time, the audience is lightened up. And the introducer, the MC for the meeting, is also relaxed because they know exactly what's going to be happening. Overall, as always, an excellent meeting. We had no leadership speaker today, and we just carried on, and we'll hear that one another time. Thank you so much. Back to Terrence, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sandra. Indeed, I enjoyed your evaluation, and I look forward to the improvements and the feedback being applied as recommended. At this point, I would make an announcement in terms of the leadership speaker or the keynote speaker. We have the privilege of hearing from a keynote speaker before we proceed. And the keynote speech will be delivered by distinguished Toastmaster Tony Rashid. Toastmaster Tony we are honored to have Toastmaster Tony as our keynote speaker today. And Tony is the former district governor of District 86, currently serving as our president, our club parliamentarian. Beyond that, he works professionally as a lawyer. Today, he will be sharing insights on ethical leadership. Toastmaster Tony, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. Fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, I submit to you that ethics is part of self-driven leadership. The phrase inner reflective ethics does not exist. It's something that I came up with a few years ago to explain to some people at a university. Ethics is different than morality and different than legality, yet they're all connected. And there's three branches of ethics. Meta ethics, which asks the big question, what is morality? Then there's normative ethics, is what we ought to do. And normative ethics is actually a central theme of common law, is that it is prescriptive. It guides us in our future behaviors. And then there's applied ethics, where it's what we should do. Someone is telling us what we should do. So we're not telling ourselves, someone is telling us. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not good. Now, reflective ethics. So reflective is something that we think about. And I'm going to talk about a news report I heard on the radio 50 years ago that really got to me. Toronto, in Canada, has some of the busiest highways in the world. And about almost 50 years ago, I was driving, listening to the radio, and I heard a news report that obviously I've never forgotten. It was an astonishing report. It was a report about a car, a small car, that stalled on the slow lane of the highway, the left lane of the highway, and stopped on the lane in the highway just ahead of an overpass bridge. And behind it came a transport truck. And as traffic behind that stalled car shifted, to the left lane to pass the stalled car, the truck driver had no time to react. Instead of plowing his truck into that car that was in the lane ahead of him, he drove to the right on the shoulder of the road into the abutment of the bridge and killed himself. He sacrificed his life so that he would not hit that car that had people in it. He did not know how many people. He assumed there was people. But consider, as he had, split second? And he made that decision in a split second. Now, this photograph is not the photograph. It's something I found on the internet that is similar. And yet that story created an image in me that reflected upon my values. Would I do that if I was that truck driver? Would you do that? And this is something that we really don't know until it happens. And we pray that that particular thing never has to happen to us. But other things do happen to us where we have to make immediate decisions. It could be life and death. It could be right and wrong. It could be something that has serious consequences and serious, very positive benefits. So, what is our nature of our ethics? When that moment comes, how will we pass the test when we are tested? To me, that is ethics. That's integrity. Now, there's lots of books about this. You know it, and I know it. And yet there's no right answers or wrong answers in many of these questions I'm asking. But sometimes we have to make ugly decisions, which can take an ethical person and tear them apart because they have to make a certain decision. Do we know who we are ourselves and how we make the best decisions? And I think we're always in search of that, especially when faced with tough choices. And especially, what if there appears to be no right way? And I'll give you some examples. Now, for example, here's some Venn chart. Ethics, the definition of ethics are rules that are established, external rules, like laws. This is the way it's going to be. This is the ethical way to do things because that's the way everybody is supposed to do it. And then, of course, there's morals, which is our inner beliefs, our faith, to follow the golden rule. As Immanuel Kant said in the 1700s, the categorical imperative, to do the right thing, deontology, to do the right thing every day. Versus, going back to ethics, utilitarianism, a tough time pronouncing that, doing the right thing for the group of people because that's been decided for us. And sometimes ethics and morals coincide, and sometimes they don't. And when they contradict, it causes stress. Now, an ethical code, something that you and I have to develop for ourselves, and only we can develop an ethical code for ourselves. It does not have to be moral. It's our own inner reflective set of rules that we have learned to live with that makes us think we're achieving a high level of ethics, such as following corporate best practices, laws, and customs. So that's an ethical code. And our moral precepts is keeping our promises, such as what we do in these meetings. You know, we sign up and, you know, barring technological problems or illnesses, we always show up and do and fulfill our roles to a high level of excellence. We have a moral standard that we like to live with. But when things conflict, we have what's called a dissonance, a state of tension, a conflict. And if we're aware of it, it's a cognitive dissonance. And it could eat away at us if it has to happen often, and if we cannot come up with a resolution to reconcile our that emotional disturbance we have about the difference between our moral self-image and our immoral or immoral action. You know, that happens a lot. Now, obviously, not everyone's in the same situation. Circumstances are always different. Where we live, what our circumstances are, what our family needs are, you know, it varies. What if your family, somebody's hungry and steals bread to eat? Well, that's obviously wrong, ethically. But what if a woman, a mother, or a father steals bread to feed a child? So what if, and I thought about this often, what if my child was starving? Would I steal bread? Would I steal food to feed my child, knowing it's wrong? And knowing that's not the way I want to be? And knowing that I'm breaking the law, I'm breaking an ethical standard to feed my child? Morally, I have a responsibility. I have a love. Would I do it? Fellow Toastmasters, I would do it. Yes, I would do it. I would steal to feed my child. Some may judge me wrong or judge me right. Who knows? Now, it's different if someone steals that food for a profit. Now, I think you definitely will agree with me. That is ethically wrong and morally wrong. Now, a political example, and you may be familiar with this. This has happened in a few countries. You know, a leader of perhaps a democratic country loses an election and claims it was stolen. You know, why should the citizens accept the results or even bother to vote in the future if the political system doesn't have integrity? So that's a political example. There's a literature example. William Shakespeare, had a marvelous way of delivering messages to us over the centuries through his literature. And in Hamlet, it was the main character had to make a decision. He could not live with the dissonance of between ethical behavior and moral behavior, and he was contemplating suicide, which he greatly feared death. So would Hamlet live a terrible life or commit suicide? To be or not to be, that is the question. And that's what this is about, this dissonance, the struggle between morals and ethics. And then there's a legal dilemma that they teach in law school. A group of cave explorers getting trapped. And this was fictional. It was written many, many years ago. It's a famous case. It's as you can see, a fictional case. Written 1949. 5 explorers are trapped in a cave. They're starving, so they kill one of themselves to eat. The survivors are rescued and they put on trial. Did they commit murder? Or did they do what was necessary to survive? So what was the extent of the moral and ethical culpability? And this exercise that in law school is very, very interesting and very deep. And I won't give you any answers because really there aren't any right answers here. Now, personal examples. We all have personal examples. That's a picture of me. I'm not the bad guy here. That's just a picture of me. But I shouldn't laugh, but about 8 years ago, well, I have faced many situations, and I hope I passed some of them, or many of them. But the one I'm talking about is at one of the places that I've been consulting to, I had a very good friend for over 20 years. And my friend did something that was very bad. And I was told by the company I had to take him to court to press charges. So I was in the position of responsibility to my client that I had to take my friend, good friend, to court to press charges. Now, I can give you that answer. I did do so. I did. I made that decision. And I think I'm still suffering from that in a way because I'm a human being. But I am confident I made the right decision because he did do something wrong. Before I retired, I was captain of a hockey team. And it was a men's only hockey team. And I've discussed this a few years ago in the club. And a woman wanted to join our club, wanted to join a club, and no other club would take her. And my club had a full roster of men. It was a men's league. But this woman wanted to play. So I cut a player. I told a man to leave our team to make room for the woman. And many of my teammates were extremely upset because we have rules. So once you make the team, you stay on the team unless you do something wrong. And this fellow did not do anything wrong, but I asked him to leave. Another team was glad to take him. I made that decision. When she knocked on the door and she told us no other team would take her, I said, you are on our team. And as you can see, there's more than one woman in that picture. And there's a trophy on the ice in front of the team. You know, I think you may agree. When you try to do something right, it's morally correct. And you may go against the grain of ethics to do the right thing. So you might do the wrong thing to get the right feeling, to feel good. Things sometimes work in your favor. And this team won many championships. Now, we did not win before. So what happened? It's ethics breeds success. Ethics breeds a standard of achievement, of accomplishment. We got trophies. Now, Socrates said over 2,600 years ago, know thyself. And ethics is about understanding who we are, as I mentioned earlier, and preparing ourselves for the test whenever the test occurs. Hopefully, again, it's not driving a highway transport truck and coming across a stalled vehicle full of people and having to make an instant decision to die. Hopefully not. But there are many other decisions similar to that, but less extreme. So first and foremost, to know one's own character, to know who we are, is an ethical exercise. Now, Aristotle, who was a pupil of Socrates, described ethics as the man, which of course that's gender unfair. So the person who possesses character excellence will tend to do the right thing at the right time in the right way. And as people said earlier in this meeting when no one's watching. So how do we start, if we're not already, how do we become reflective to improve ourselves? And Brahm actually gave a presentation recently about growth mindset, open mind. And it's why we're members of Leadership Speak. I can improve my skills with effort and practice. Some of us have been Toastmasters for a long time. Some of us haven't. But we all have been living a long time. So we all have our experiences, our stories, our challenges. Another comment, I appreciate when others give me feedback to help me learn and grow. That's part of a growth mindset. But aren't we good at giving feedback? We just heard our general evaluator and her evaluators give feedback. I know that I can improve. That's a great growth mindset. And these are not mistakes, but lessons learned. Doesn't that sound better? And really importantly, I celebrate the small steps. And fellow Toastmasters, don't we celebrate the small steps? Sure, we celebrate the small steps. They're important to us. So it's not just one thing. As you know, it's many things that add and build and grow towards a growth mindset. So that we can have an internal reflective ethics within ourselves that helps us establish our own standards of excellence, because it's an integral part of self-driven leadership. It's not about knowing our own character. It's about knowing our own character, implementing a growth mindset, and doing the best thing whenever we can. For a better world, for a better you and a better me. And if we can come to terms by knowing who we are and being able to live with that, with a high standard of our own ethics, there's less stress. We're able to defeat that dissonance that I talked about earlier. Thank you, and happy decisions. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Tony Rashid. Indeed, what is ethics to you? What is ethics? And I like how you have shown us, or you've taken us on a journey of ethical leadership. I hope at this point you have a clue about what ethical leadership is. And to help us think further about that, I would invite the thought of the day by Guerdah Schla. Guerdah Schla. Over to you. Guerdah, you are unmuted. You are muted. Please unmute.
Apologize.
So, the virtual stage is yours.
Doing the right thing isn't about what's easy or convenient. It's about adhering a strong moral principles and value, even when it's difficult. Mahatma Gandhi, a renowned ethical leader, he earned trust, respect, through his integrity, humanity, and devotion to nonviolence. His self-discipline showed his deep commitment to his principles, inspiring a whole nation to pursue freedom, equality, and justice through peaceful demonstration, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire us today. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, at Leadership Speak, ethical leadership is non-negotiable. We uphold Toastmasters International's mission and values. We demonstrate transparency, no side deals. We demonstrate integrity, service, and excellence and respect in every decision, every interaction, in every role we take. Ethics is the glue that holds us together. We are like that ethical, wise lady, as one of our leaders said. With our Probity, we earned the title of the best club globally. At Leadership Speak, where ethics and moral values coincide. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Guerdah. I would like to invite the President, Toastmaster Holmes, Teng, to make his remarks. Toastmaster Holmes, over to you.
Thank you so much, Terrence. A great thanks to Tony, who stepped out on a short notice to deliver the keynote address today. I'd like to spend some time to interact with the most important people in the room. Guest. I'm looking at the guest book, and I'll start with guests who have registered on the guest book. Camel Ali, are you available to speak?
Yes, I am.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Let me add you to the spotlight. Welcome. How do you find the meeting today?
It was interesting. It was great. Great experience, great formatting here, great opportunity to hear all the leaders speak and at such a higher level that I'm accustomed to. And also the evaluation and all the way the meeting was, the agenda was set up, the flow. It was quite interesting, the experience. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. You indicated that you are interested to join the club. Can I check if you have completed your level 3?
No, I have not.
Are you currently already on Pathways?
I am on Pathways. So I have been a member many years ago where I did the CC manual. I had completed CC manual. And then I took a break and then I started Pathways. So I've recently started a dynamic leadership. I'm into level 2.
Okay. At Leadership Speak as an advanced club, we do have a requirement that all members, when they join, they need to complete level 3. We welcome you. After you complete level 3, please contact us again. We'll send you the application. We'll have a chat with you to see how Leadership Speak might be of service to you. Is that okay?
That sounds right. Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Camille. We're waiting for you.
Holmes, a very quick question here for Camille before she goes is you've indicated that you're from District 86, right? And
Yes.
Amar has recommended, is it Amar Sandhu from Comfortably Speaking? Are you
Yeah.
Comfortably Speaking?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Amar is a good friend. and we would love to welcome you, of course. If he's recommended you to be here, that's a great thing. So we'll
Yes.
talk to you soon. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, he
Over
told
to
me
you,
I
Holmes.
can. He told me I
Yeah.
can attend as a guest to take a look.
Absolutely, you can. And you can
Uh,
attend as many times as you like until you've done your level 3, all right?
Yeah. So she wants me to build my momentum, build my confidence to get
Sure.
into the speaking habit to complete all my
Okay.
speeches because I'm lacking.
Good. So just the last question in that case, have you been in District 86 all the time, or you were in other districts before you joined District
No,
86?
I was always in District 86.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll connect with you, Holmes, if you don't mind. I'll connect with her, being familiar with the... All right. Over to you, Holmes. I'm
Okay,
done.
thank
Thank
you
you very
so much.
much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Camel.
Thank you, Camille. Thank you, Brown. CJ, Colinius John, are you available to speak? Is it? How are you? How do you find the meeting?
Very enlightening. I love the confidence of the speakers. I love the way that they just are really knowledgeable about the topics, and it's smooth sailing. It's really encouraging to see how you network. It's not just from one place that you are, but from all over the world, and that to me is really quite inviting. And I think I already indicated that I would love to join, but not right now because I've got a lot of things happening in my life. But I am interested. That's why I'm joining as a guest whenever I have time. I'm from Namibia in Africa, so it's an afternoon with us. So the time actually suits me perfectly.
DJ, we will welcome you. We always will welcome you as a guest. Feel free to visit us anytime where you're available. And one day, maybe when your availability has changed, your life priorities have changed, you got more time to spend with us as a speaker, as a member, we welcome you. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you, Mr. President Holmes. Appreciate that.
My pleasure to speak with you.
All right, great.
We also have Tariq Hussain. Tariq Hussain, are you available to speak? I'll go on to other guests. Rose Odundo, are you available to speak?
Yes, I'm able to speak, though I'm not
thank you
able
very
to show
much,
my mic.
Holmes.
I'm not able to put on my video, if that's okay.
Actually, I have.
Sorry, I think we have two people speaking at the same time. Let me speak with Rose first, maybe. Rose, how do you find the meeting?
Oh, thank you very much.
Rose is a past member. She's
I'm-
looking to renew soon.
Ah, thank you, Bram.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, thank you, Bram. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, Rose. We're
Thank
looking
you.
forward to you rejoining soon.
Yes, now as a director, I'm fairly busy, but I'm working on it. Thank you.
Looking forward, Rose. We'll connect
Thank
with you
you.
again. Thank you so much, Rose. Thank you so much. Was it Tariq who was speaking? Nope. I will move on. We have Leya Wende. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Are you available to speak?
Shops. It was really energetic session.
Hello,
And
Holmes. Yes, I am able to speak, though not able to turn off my camera. I hope that's fine.
Tariq, hold on a moment. Tariq, hold on a moment. Let me speak with Leya first. Leya, how do you find the meeting today?
I have network
Is
Oops, Leya, you are muted. Leya?
hello? Are
Hey,
you able to
yes.
hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you now.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I'm not able to turn off my video today.
No worries. No worries.
Oh, all right.
How do you find the meeting
I will-
today?
The meeting was very, very enlightening. I loved the theme of the meeting. I loved the speech. I was able to hear your speech. I missed, I think, the other speeches, and I loved the address from Tony, I think, and the toast of the day as well. I also liked the evaluations. They were very, very well done. The feedback was put in. It was all on a different level, and I'll definitely love to join. Though maybe not yet, because I joined Toastmasters this year and I'm still on my first level. But I'm looking forward to getting to level 3 and joining you. Thank you so much for having me and for the warm welcome from Guerdah, from yourself, and from Guerdah. I don't know if the pronunciation is correct. I really, really loved it. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Leya. As you continue with your Toastmasters pathway with your community club, we welcome you to continue to visit us. And when you have completed your level 3, let us know. Then we'll have a chat to see how the club may be of service to you to help you to grow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Holmes. I'll definitely be back as a guest. I really, really enjoyed the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me go back to Tariq Hussain. Tariq Hussain, I noticed you were unmuted once or twice. Are you available to speak now?
He has a message in the chat. He's unable to speak.
Oh, thank you so much, Nico. All right. With that, those are all the guests that I see in this meeting. I'd like to hand back to the Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you, Mr. President. 2 things quickly. The first, you can see in the chat, there is a session being run by Bram on the 21st and the 22nd at 11:30 a.m. EST. That's New York or Toronto time. Let's plug in, let's attend, let's watch. And he has also posted the link to attend this meeting. You'll in that meeting, in that session, you'll see Toastmaster Tony Brashish, who led or who delivered his keynote a few minutes ago, and distinguished Toastmaster Rosie Rana, flanking Toastmaster Bram Memon on the same event. Welcome, and make sure you plug in. PR Master, are the awards ready?
Woohoo, Guerdah, yay!
Congratulations, Guerdah. Congratulations, Vinod.
Thank you.
Hey!
Awesome job, Vinod.
Round of applause for both of you.
Congratulations to Vinod and Guerdah Felix. With that, Toastmasters and guests, I call this meeting adjourned. Zoom Master, you may stop the recording.